Okay, so we're going to continue our lesson on equations and problem solving. And we're going to talk about, we're going to use it for some geometry ideas here. So this question says the length of a rectangle is 6 inches more than its width. The perimeter of the rectangle is 24 inches. What is the length of the rectangle? So we're asked to find the length. So we need to define a variable here. So same as before, I'm going to say let x equals, and since we were asked to find the length, I'm just going to let it be the length. You could let it be the width too. It could work out in the end, but I'm just going to go with what I'm being asked to find. The question is, what is the length? So I'm going to go with that. So x is a length, but I also need to know the width, right? There's a length and a width to a rectangle. So if I go back, I was told the length of a rectangle is 6 inches more than its width. So if x is the length, how do I show the width, which is going to be, I know the length is 6 inches more than it. So I would have to take the length and I'd have to subtract 6 to get the width, right? Because the width is less than the length. So I'd have to take, it's 6 less, so I do x minus 6. So now I've defined the length and the width. So now what I want to do is I want to picture a rectangle. So I'm going to draw one here. Draw a rectangle. And I know the rectangle's got 4 sides. And I know 2 sides are the length, 2 sides are the width. So I'm going to say these are both the length and these are both the width. So I've labeled all 4 sides of my rectangle. And then we were told the perimeter of the rectangle is 24 inches. So that means, if you've forgotten what perimeter is the distance around a figure. It's basically adding up all the sides. So I need to add up all the sides of this rectangle. And they have to equal 24. So I'll do x plus 6 plus, oh, wait, why am I writing? I shouldn't be writing pluses. My board's being weird. Erase. All right, that was a mistake by me, intentional. Make sure you were paying attention. So I need to break my side. So my first side is x. If I work my way around, I've got an x minus 6. Then I have another x. Then I have another x minus 6. So that's the 4 sides of the rectangle, and that has to equal 24. So now I'm just going to solve this. I'm going to combine my like terms. I've got 4 x's there, so that's 4x. I've got negative 6 and another negative 6. Negative 6 minus 6 is negative 12, so minus 12, and that equals 24. Solve this equation, add 12 to both sides, so 4x equals 36, divided by 4, and x equals 9. And what was the question? It was, what is the length? We said x is the length, and make sure I label it, so it is 9 inches. Now this one only asked for the length. What if it also asked for the width? I would have just done 9 minus 6 to figure out the width was 3 inches. All right, but we got 9 inches for the length for this one. So let's look at the next one here. The width of a rectangle is 2 centimeters less than its length. The perimeter of the rectangle is 16 centimeters. What is the length of the rectangle? So again, we're asked to find the length. So I'm going to say let x equal the length. So now we need to know what the width is. We were told that the width of a rectangle is 2 centimeters less than its length. So if I need 2 less, I would just subtract 2, so x minus 2. And we're told the perimeter of the whole thing is 16. So all we got to do is add those up. Again, if you want to see the rectangle, it would be x minus 2, x minus 2. So there I've got my 4 sides. We're going to add those up. So x plus x minus 2 plus x minus 2. And that's going to equal 16. So I'm going to combine my like terms. I've got 4 x's. I got negative 2 and another negative 2. That'd be negative 4. And equals 16. Solve this. Add 4 to both sides. 4x equals 20. Divide by 4. And I get x equals 5. So my length is 5 centimeters for this one. 5 centimeters. So we were asked to find the length, but we defined x as, so we got it. The width for this would have been 3 centimeters, but we weren't asked for it. All right. Let's do one more. This one's a little more tricky. The length of a rectangle is 1 more than twice its width. The perimeter of the rectangle is 44 meters. What is the length of the rectangle? All right, so this one's a little tricky. So let's read that first sentence here. The length of a rectangle is 1 more than twice its width. So if I knew the width, I could figure out the length. If I knew the width, I would multiply it by 2 and add 1. So actually in this one, even though we're asked to find the length, I think it might be easier to say that x is my width, because then I know how to define my length. Because we are told the length is 1 more than twice the width. So we said x is the width. So twice the width would be 2x, and 1 more than that, we'd add 1. So now I know the length. So this one was easier to say x was the width, because then I could do the length off of that, because I was told what the length is according to the width. It's twice the width plus 1. So now, if I draw my rectangle here, I have 2 sides that are 2x plus 1 and 2 sides that are x. And I know my perimeter is 44. So I'm going to add up my sides, 2x plus 1 plus x plus 2x plus 1 plus x, and that's going to equal 44. So for this one, so I got 2x plus 1, I've got x, I got 2x plus 1, I've got x. So I got my 4 sides there. I got to combine my like terms. I got a 2x plus x plus 2x plus x. So that's 6x right there. Remember, there's no number in front of the x, that's a 1, so 1x. So 2x plus 1x plus 2x plus 1x, 6x. My numbers, I got a 1 and another 1, so that's just 2, and this equals 44. So solve this equation, subtract 2, 6x equals 42, divide by 6, we get x equals 7. So our answer, though, is not 7 meters. Because what was the question? The question was find the length. And what did we say x was? We say x was the width. So to find the length, I got to do this 2x plus 1. I got to do 2 times 7 plus 1. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 1 is 15. So my length in this case is actually 15 centimeters. All right, that is it for this lesson.